You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we're going to talk about the Raiders, but we're also going to talk a little bit more about Justin Fields because I think these two were potentially related prior to this news dropping, because there were a lot of rumors going around out there. And guys, when we first started talking about Luke Getsy becoming the coordinator of the Raiders, I said then I thought there was a real shot that maybe Justin Fields might end up with the Raiders. A lot of people pushed back on that. But I can tell you right now, some real rumors sparked off about 30 minutes before this news dropped that the Raiders were in very early talks with the Bears on Justin Fields, okay? And I don't know if the Bears decided to pull out on this. I don't know who did, because I have been working this Justin Fields thing for the last 2 hours, and there's almost nothing out there. It has been dead. But here is something, a nugget that Rap Sheet have. The Bears have not been active in trying to trade Justin Fields, per Ian Rappaport. This is the other interesting nugget. Want to be 100% sold on Caleb Williams. Well, I mean, I can't say I blame them for that. I mean, do you? I don't. So that led the Raiders to either pivot. Maybe the Raiders called the Bears, because then if the Raiders technically called the Bears about Justin Fields, they had probably multiple plans on the table, right? In other words, they got sort of a free agent board set up in the same way that they've got these, your NFL draft board set up. Not exactly the same, but you get my point, right? All these potentials. And so they pivoted. Now, I'm going to tell you what's weird. It's the money with Gardner Minshew, and frankly, I love this signing by the Raiders. And I've said before, I'm so glad I started actually covering the Raiders on this channel, because they've turned out to be one of the most fun teams to talk about, because they're just wild. Antonio, I mean, they've always had that thing, right, for being wild, being hardcore, but the Antonio Pierce thing was just fun to watch last year when he became interim head coach. The dumpster fire around Josh McDaniels, and that's kind of how we started covering it, because we started out with the Patriots, and then as Josh McDaniels and Jimmy Garoppolo signed with the Raiders, things just kind of evolved from that point. So, according to Ian Rappaport, the Raiders have signed Gardner Minshew to a 2-year deal. Minshew will now compete with Aiden O'Connell for the starting job. And I will tell you, what the Raiders did here is they definitely walked the line with starting quarterback money. Okay, very low-end starting quarterback money, but starting quarterback money nonetheless. According to Mike Garafolo, the deal includes a $15 million guarantee over the next 2 years. Well, that isn't a ton of money. It does mean they'll likely get a shot at starting. 13 games last year for the Colts, 7-6, 62% completion, 6.7 yards per attempt is not great, okay? But we all know Gardner Minshew's personality. I've always thought he was capable of starting for a team, and he had the Colts right there at the end of the year for the playoffs. And I think that's all about anybody can ask. Look, he did make that joke of a Pro Bowl, whatever they call Pro Bowl this year. He made it because nobody else wanted to go. But 3,300 yards, 15 TDs, 9 picks, 59 passing touchdowns, 24 picks in his career, a hair under 10,000 yards. Let me see. He's not super mobile. He was more mobile his rookie year with the Jags than he has been his last couple of years. He did, by the way, run the ball in for 3 touchdowns last year. So he had 18 total touchdowns. It does very much have that bridge starter kind of feel to it. This is the exact compensation. This is a 2-year, $25 million deal with $15 million guaranteed per sources. My gut feeling would be if he doesn't work out as a starter, right, Aiden O'Connell wins the job, or they draft a quarterback too, then $7.5 million a year becomes, and that's what it is. It's 25, so $15 million guarantee is what you want to look at. But you're talking about $7.5 million a year split guarantee, even though it'll be all up front probably. Well, it may not be. I don't know. They may split it between the years. But the point is, that's high-end backup money, and then the extra money gets him up if he does actually win the starting job, right? And there's probably some incentives in that somewhere in there. And this is one of the funnier things I've seen, because this is the Colts and the Raiders. And Max Crosby, I guess.
Hey, let's go. We're good. 180, huh? Little last boy. Little last boy.
Dude, Max Crosby is so damn angry. Bro, he just...
Like, the thing is, like, he's not really that angry.
I know, right? He keeps calling everybody little ass boy. Hey, little ass boy. I'm like, I'm little out here, but not always,
That's really good. Really good from Gardner. Yeah, he looks like a Raider. Gardner Minshew just looks like a Raider, folks. He does. That long hair. Somebody popped off about the most famous RV in all of the NFL's now headed to Las Vegas. Gardner Minshew in Vegas. I mean, that's the most perfect combination in the history of planet Earth, I think. It certainly will keep you competitive. You've still got Herbert. You still got Jim Harbaugh in the division. You got Andy Reid. You got Patrick Mahomes. So you've got to believe that the Raiders are going to draft a quarterback at some point in the draft, right? I would think. I know Antonio Pierce is high on Aiden O'Connell. Probably higher on Aiden O'Connell than a lot of the fan base might want him to be. I like the kid. Sean Payton really liked the kid. And he had designs. He was going to draft Aiden to be a potential starter for the Denver Broncos, and the Raiders beat him to the punch. Josh McDaniels did. So there was something that some guys that like quarterbacks and take hard looks at quarterbacks liked about Aiden O'Connell. He flashed last year, and he was a rookie. Who knows? Maybe he goes out there and just plows Gardner for this job. I don't know. Or maybe somehow they figure out a way to take Michael Penix Jr. in the draft, which, if I was the Raiders, is probably something I would do. I'd take Michael Penix Jr., Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew, and let the best quarterback win the job. And if it's not either one of the young guys, Gardner starts a year while Penix gets ready. I think that makes sense. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.